I took and put together 2 historical trail ride trips with 26 horseback riders from one end of Douglas County to the other. And in doing that, it was to teach these people the history as we rode along, which I was fascinated with, going back to 1865 in Douglas County. The open spaces, the beauty of Douglas County, being outdoors has meant so much to me. I can't even describe, and that's why I did participate. And in more than anything in participation, the Cherry Creek Trail, when I saw that valley start to disappear, and in that valley disappearing, I mean with development that was expected, it was that can we still maintain, though, not only for me to have an epiphany, but for all of you to walk that trail, and the next generation of your kids and the next kids, is what can we do to preserve the feeling I had and those who came before me that owned the beautiful ranches there, that made me want to go out and acquire the trail right away for the Douglas County organization of open space and trails, parks, and in working for them for 18 years. It was a labor of love. It was something now that everybody says, oh my gosh, we're so happy that somebody thought ahead of time to preserve that basin, that beautiful open space for us to recreate and actually see what, you know, the pioneers 100 years ago saw. That will be preserved forever.
Here is basically his resume, his background of what Mr. Niewoehner, his dedication to this town, but it just basically says kind of what he's done, but not who he is. And if I could take this opportunity to just simply quote a couple of things from one of my favorite people, Mr. Vince Lombardi. I think it pertains to Dennis Niewoehner and the kind of person that he is. And Vince Lombardi said, unless a man believes in himself and makes a total commitment to his career and puts everything he has into it, his mind, his body, his heart, what is his life worth to him? Well, Mr. Niewoehner has done that to this community since I've been here since 1988. Dennis has been here a lot longer than I have. The town of Parker came to be because of somebody like Dennis Niewoehner and his dedication, not only of land to the town of Parker to get it started, but also of his time, his dedication, his efforts, the love of this community that he has. And you'll see that tonight as he continues forward with the dedication of another 38 acres to this town and its improvements. Also, Vince Lombardi said that the quality of man's life has got to be a full measure of that man's personal commitment to excellence. If I could say anything again about Dennis Niewoehner, it is that he is truly a man of excellence. Everything he does breeds excellence. He wants to make sure that what he does for this town is in an excellent form. And finally, I will leave it with St. Francis of Assisi, who said, "It is no use walking anywhere to preach unless our walking is our preaching." Dennis Niewoehner walks the walk, talks the talk. And you'll see it as you go through this entire town. You'll see the contributions he's made. He's been named Citizen of the Year at PEDC, Cornerstone Award winner. The man is just one giving individual. And I thank him tonight from the bottom of my heart. And I know I'm speaking for council, Mr. Niewoehner, when I say thank you. Thank you for this dedication of 38 acres. I know how this was important to you, but this 38 acres is going to be a great enhancement to this community for years and years and years and years and years to come. Thank you with all my heart. At this time, I'd like to have Debbie Lewis say a few words on behalf of Mr. Dennis Niewoehner. So, Debbie?
Actually, I'm going to read an excerpt from a letter. There are few people who hold that man in development must ever live in conflict with nature, that there is no way for the two to live peaceably together and for both to flourish. Dennis Niewoehner proves the opposite, although I don't think he necessarily set out to prove anything. It has been Dennis's commitment to community and abiding affection for the Colorado countryside which have motivated him to help preserve the wild and rural splendor for the greater enrichment of all of Parker's citizens. The Cherry Creek Trail System is a living gift to all of us, and like all true gifts, it was given without cost. The other contributions Dennis has made are too numerous to list here. I salute Dennis as my good friend and congratulate him on this well-deserved recognition. This is signed sincerely yours, Jim Nicholson, who is a cabinet member in President Bush's cabinet.
Congratulations, Jim. Dennis, thank you again. Thank you, Debbie.
Being a developer in the town of Parker, actually it started the night the town of Parker incorporated. And with my belief in this little town and watching it grow, I've stayed here ever since, living here, officing here, assisting the community, the town. But where I'm sitting right now is an area called the Living Wheel Park. And at the beginning of developing a hayfield area that was owned by the Clark family that had the 20-mile house sitting on it from the 1860s, we picked up and purchased 48 acres in this area along Main Street. And Main Street is to my left, and it's the old area of Parker, and we developed from there, going westerly, 48 acres to include such things as condominium projects, apartment buildings, we've got retail, we've got restaurants. One of the areas that I started off with in developing this hay meadow, and there was no street other than Main Street called West Parker Road, and so we built all the other roads in. After the post office, one of the major buildings I was so proud of to be a part of and the community needed is the 20-mile 10-screen theater, and that's in 20 Mile Village at this time. And we then brought in a lot of shopping, retail, restaurants. I feel that the combination of positive growth of items for the public, of where to shop, where to recreate, we also then combined in, though, and it was a belief of mine and my partners and I, developed this 1-acre park. This park is called the Living Wheel Park because this big rock I'm sitting on, we brought that in for a purpose to recognize the pioneer spirit. The pioneer spirit was so strong, and a lot of that tenacity and perseverance and persistence is not there anymore. And to work with the kids today, matter of fact, I have read Story Hour here, where I've got the library next door, and I opened up the whole library complex to be part of this park. But the stone indicates the strength of the pioneers and what they put up with. This is the exact location where I'm sitting, where the big stagecoach from Kansas, it was the Butterfield line that pulled in here, and we're talking around 1865 to 70 into the 70s to see that 6-horse hitch on a Butterfield stage pull in. And this was called the 20-mile house. And the statement goes, a town is not a town until it has a hospital. I was very, very involved, and I now sit on the board of directors of the Parker Adventist Hospital. My involvement and what I've always done as a businessman is to solve problems. Business is about solving problems. It's not easy, and he who can solve those problems is usually the winner. So many people pass up on opportunities. They see them, they think it's going to be something important, something that's a good deal, and people do not then take the next step, and that is go do it, implement it. That's what creates success.
The National Western Stock Show has welcomed Dennis Niewoehner's old-timer draft horse hitch, performing twice daily at the Coliseum. The giant Belgian horses seem to sense the showbiz atmosphere.
I think really for all of us to do and give is how we get rewarded back.